Hello everybody, welcome to our class Passionate Learners. Today in this class we are discussing about the child development and pedagogy subject. It is important for people who are preparing for the TET exams, and the questions which I am covering today are very important for all kind of TET exams including the CTET, and I have tried basically to cover many concepts in this particular class. So kindly listen to the class till the end and grab good amount of knowledge regarding the child development and pedagogy. Okay, let us start our session. The first question is, progressive education is associated with which of the following statements? Okay, so first you need to understand the meaning of the progressive education. The name itself indicates something, it is a positive thing. Okay, the progressive in the sense, the dynamic kind of education. Okay, the education which is not static. Okay, education which is not static, and education which involves all kind of constructivism. Okay, constructive knowledge, and this is also not based on rote memory. Okay, no rote memory. This is what progressive education is. Okay, now let us get into our question. Progressive education is associated with which of the following statements is our question. So let us find the correct option. Knowledge is generated through direct experience and collaboration. Okay. Next option is learning proceeds in a straight way with factual gathering and skill mystery. See, it is not only based on factual gathering and skill mystery. Okay, it is based on many other things. It is based on experimenting. Okay, examination is a norm-referenced and external. No, it is not related to education. Is not only related, it may be related to examination kind of thing, but it is not completely related to it. And the D option is teachers are the originators of the information and authority. No, anyone could be the originators of the information, not only the teachers. Okay, so knowledge is generated through direct experience and collaboration. This is the correct answer for this. Collaborative learning is nothing but learning from other people. Okay, you need to gather in a group and learn to grab the knowledge from even the other people. Okay, you need to basically share your ideas and experiences. This is progressive education. Okay, and it also happens with the direct experiences. Okay. The second question is, mind mapping refers to. Okay, mind mapping is something. See, if I have taught you a concept, okay, let us think like this. You have a certain concept in your brain, and now you want to put it on a paper. You have different ideas, a number of ideas about that particular concept, and you need to put it. You need to arrange it in a particular order. Okay. So now what mind mapping exactly is, to put graphically, okay, putting ideas and concepts in your mind. Okay, ideas and concepts which are present in your mind, upon a paper. Okay, so this is mind mapping. Okay, now that I have explained the meaning of mind mapping, so let us search for the answer. A plan of action for an adventure? No. Drawing the picture of a mind? No. Researching the function of the mind? Okay, it is some way related to the concept which I have explained. And the D option is a technique to enhance the comprehension. Is it the technique to enhance the comprehension? Comprehension means understanding. No, we are just trying to put the ideas which are present in our mind graphically. I mean, researching the functioning of the mind. Okay, yes, this would become the correct option. The third question is, in the context of language development, which of the following areas was underestimated by Piaget? So, in order to answer this question, you have to know about this person Piaget. Okay, so this is a person who is a psychologist. Okay, so now he has given many theories. Okay, try to understand. We need to like first understand the concepts which were given by him, and later we can find out in which area did he underestimate the language. Okay, so he basically gave his views upon constructivism. Okay, he had given his views upon the language. He has given his view upon schema, and he has also taught something about egocentric speech. Okay, and apart from this, he has explained many things, but now we are concerned about these things. Okay, so now constructivism is nothing but a person, it is nothing but learning. Okay, a child can learn a concept, like gradually a child can learn the concept based upon the concept, based upon the idea of constructivism. Okay, the knowledge is constructed, the knowledge is generated, that is a child experiences each and everything, and thereby he constructs the knowledge is the theory which was given by Piaget. Okay, now the next thing was he also spoke something about the language. Okay, and we will come to know what exactly he has spoken about the language, and let us try to understand what is this schema is about. Schema is the previous knowledge. He spoke something about the previous knowledge which a person has. Okay, depending upon the previous knowledge, the person would perform the things in the present. Okay, this is what schema is about. And egocentric speech, this is the speech actually related to the child who is in between the age group of 2 to 7 years. Okay, we often see the children who are around this age would be speaking within themselves. Okay, this is nothing but the egocentric speech. Now we are very much interested in language, because the question is like this. Once again, read the question. In the context of the language development, which of the following areas was underestimated by Piaget? So we need to first know what he exactly spoke about the language. Okay, so now he said that a child can learn the language from his environment. Okay, a child can learn his language from the environment. It can also environment in the sense society. Okay, and next thing, as I have already said that he spoke something about the egocentric speech, so I have concentrated upon that area too. And next thing is the active construction. Okay, so constructivism concept is also there. Okay, so he also said that thought comes first. Okay, in a child who is just under the age group of 2 years, who is just about to learn the language, so not around 2 years, like whenever the child tries to he said that a child first has a thought and then the language comes. Okay, so his idea was that thought comes first and then comes the language. Yes, this is all about Piaget, and there are many more things to learn about Piaget. He is a very important person regarding this child psychology concept. You would be getting 1 or 2 questions from this Piaget psychologist. Okay, so let us find the answer for this. As we have already discussed, he spoke something about the social interaction. He also spoke about the egocentric speech. He also spoke about the construction, active construction by the child. He haven't spoke about anything about, he haven't spoke in the sense he has not given much importance regarding the heredity of a particular person. Okay, so he underestimated the heredity. This becomes the answer. The fourth question is, Bloom's taxonomy is the hierarchical organization of. Okay, so to know this answer, you need to know something about the Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, Bloom's taxonomy, it is nothing but these are the kind of learning objectives. Okay, these are the kind of learning objectives which were given by Bloom's. Okay, these learning objectives are actually arranged in a hierarchical order. Okay, so starting from remembering, next comes understanding, remembering, understanding, application, analysis, evaluation, and finally comes the creativeness. Okay, creativity. So this is how the hierarchical order of the Bloom's taxonomy would be. So this is actually based upon the cognition. Cognition in the sense the activity of our brain, how a person thinks. This is nothing but cognition. So all these objectives would come under the cognition. So they are cognitive objectives. Bloom's taxonomy is the hierarchical organization of cognitive objectives. The fifth question is, which of the following statements about the principles of development is incorrect? Okay, so you need to know about the principles of development and then later you can understand which option is incorrect. Development is a quantitative process which can be measured precisely. Development depends on maturation and learning. Development takes place due to a constant interaction between the heredity and environment. Every child goes through the stages of development, yet there are wide individual differences among the children. This development is something which is related to a human. Okay, so a child develops. A child is not static, right? He would be growing. Okay, so now the question is upon the development of a particular child. So now the development would definitely not be quantitative. It could be both quantitative and qualitative depending upon the maturation level and the learning. It also depends upon the heredity of a person, right? So it all depends upon the maturation, it depends upon the heredity. And next thing is through the stages, when a child is going through different kind of stages. Okay, even the PIAGET has given the different stages. We would discuss it in the coming slides. Okay, so depending upon the different stages, the development may vary. Okay, so the question, the option which is not satisfying the above question is the first option. Okay, the development is quantitative process which can be measured precisely. It is the incorrect option. Sixth question is, a teacher should make an attempt to understand the potentialities of her or his students. Okay, which of the following fields is related to this objective? Okay, so when a particular person becomes a teacher, so as a teacher, he or she should take into account all the potentialities of a child. Try to remember. Okay, all the potentialities of a child has to be taken into consideration when you are just giving grading or when you are assessing a student. Okay, so this kind of this statement comes under which psychology is the question. Okay, so I'm directly saying the answer for this, which is nothing but the educational psychology. Okay, this involves many things. It says that the most important thing which it says that not all children are same. Okay, not all children are alike. Not all children are alike. Okay, there may be difference in difference among them. Maybe in the psychological aspect, maybe in the social condition, maybe in economic background. In each and every aspect, the child may differ. Okay, so you as a teacher, you need to consider these diversities. Okay, and then you need to assess the child. Okay, so you need not to, basically this question says that you need not to assess the child depending upon only one factor. You need to diversify your way of assessing a student. Okay, this is what all these concepts are present in the educational psychology. The seventh question is, the insight theory of learning is promoted by. Yes, again it's an interesting question. These are the important people which you often get questions upon these people only. Okay, These are the psychologists which you need to remember. So first one is the Pavlov. Pavlov, he is very famous for the experiment which he has done upon the dog experiment. Dog experiment, which is also known as classical conditioning. Which is also known as classical conditioning. He actually says that when we give a conditional stimulus, we would be getting the conditional response. So it's a big theory, but in brief I am trying to explain you. I would explain you in my future coming videos. Just try to understand the concept so that the question would be clear for you. So he says that the conditional stimulus, if we give the conditional stimulus, we will be getting the conditional response. So stimulus is nothing but the triggering which we give. And the response is, yes, response anybody can understand, the output which we can see. This is what Pavlov has told. And next, Jean Piaget, we have already learnt about him, that he is known for his constructivism, he is known for his schema, he is known for his egocentric speech, and he also said that the thought comes first before language. So it is, he also has given the cognitive, he is also known for his cognitive development theories, and he has also given 4 different developmental aspects in a person. This is what Jean Piaget told, which we have already discussed in the earlier question, and what Vygotsky has told. Vygotsky has given much importance to social interaction. So he said that a child development is maximum based upon the social interaction. This is what he said, and this what is about this Gestalt theory. Gestalt in the German language, which means whole. So whenever we are learning something, it should be considered as a whole aspect. You need not to take a particular aspect and you cannot say that it is learning just happened over there. So in order to learn something, we should consider it as a whole aspect, which was actually said by the Gestalt theorists. They all spoke about the learning theories, how a child should learn and how a child will learn. All these are learning theories. So the insight theory, the word insight is nothing but accurate, accurate and whole, everything you need to know when you are learning something, which is nothing but the Gestalt theory. Yes, so the answer for this would become Gestalt theories. 8th question. The concept of private speech of children as proposed by Vygotsky. So this private speech, which we have already discussed in this, we discussed something about the egocentric speech in Piaget. Now we are discussing about the private speech by Vygotsky. You also need to remember a concept regarding this Vygotsky is zone of proximity development. Zone of proximity development I have already explained in my video. I will provide you the link. You just go through that and grab the knowledge about this zone of proximity development. And now, what is the question about? The concept of private speech of children as proposed by the Vygotsky. What is it actually about? Shows that the children love themselves, illustrates that children use speech to guide their own actions, shows that the children are stupid and thus need guidance of adults, illustrates that the children are egocentric. It says that the children use the speech to guide their own actions. This is what was given by Vygotsky. You need to remember this. Yes. 9th question is, inclusive education refers to a school education system that, so what is inclusive education is the question. So before this, you need to understand few more terms. Segregated schools. Segregated schools. We often hear this word. Segregated schools are nothing but people who are differently abled. These are the schools like exclusively for differently abled children. Differently abled children. Now what is inclusive? This may be segregated means separating. Inclusive means everything should be included. So what is this school about? Which kind of students will be there? includes the children regardless of physical, intellectual, social, linguistic or the other differently abled conditions. Yes, this is absolutely right. Inclusive means including each and every child irrespective of his disability or maybe his social group or maybe his linguistic group or maybe his intellectual or physical development. Okay, so this is inclusive education. 10th question, parents should play a dash role in the learning process of young children. Okay, so parents should play a proactive role, means they need to be alert in the area which they are taking the decisions regarding the children. They need to be proactive. 11th question, according to Piaget, at which of the following stages does a child begin to think logically about the abstract propositions? So I have already said that the Piaget has given different stages of development. These are the stages of development, but let me arrange it in a proper order. First comes the pre-operational stage. Okay, so first comes the pre-operational stage. First comes the sensory stage. Okay, sensory motor stage, and then comes the pre-operational stage, and then comes the concrete operation state, and finally comes the formal operation state. Okay, so these words can be easily understood. Sensory motor stage is a child when the child is in her or his infancy stage, where a child touches everything and knows about the things. Okay, so this is the beginning stage of a person in the developmental stages, and then comes a pre-operational stage which is around 2 to 7 years of age. Okay, next is about the concrete operational stage. Concrete in the sense, a child who is present in this concrete operational stage can understand the things which he or she would be able to touch. Okay, there are many things which are like there are many things which cannot be seen, but still they persist, right? So these kind of things cannot be understood by a child who is around the 7 to 11 years of age. But now when coming to the formal operation stage, which lasts from 11 years and 11 years and more, okay, here a child would be able to understand the what you call it as, like abstract things. Okay, abstract in the sense they will be able to understand the logical things. Okay, so this is what our question is about. Think logically about the abstract proportion. This will actually start in the formal operation stage. Okay, which is around 11 years and more. Yes, again let me read the question. According to Piaget, at which of the following stages does a child begin to think logically about the abstract proportions? Yes, it is the formal operation stage without any doubts. The 12th question is, nowadays there is a tendency to refer to the wrong concepts of the children as alternative conceptions. This could be attributed to, try to ask any concept to a child. If a child answers wrongly, if the child answers the concept wrongly, you need not to say the child that the concept is wrong. Okay, this gives a negative impact on the child. This is what is alternative concept. Instead of saying it as wrong, okay, instead of saying it as wrong, you just say that this is somewhat deviated from the originality. You are thinking differently. Instead of saying it as wrong, you just say that they are thinking differently. Okay, they are thinking differently or alternatively. Yes, this is what the question is about. Nowadays there is a tendency to refer to the wrong concepts of the children as alternative conceptions. This could be attributed to, what is it? Using fancy terms to describe the child's errors? No. Children begins thought of as adult like in their thinking? No. Children's understanding being nuanced and their being passive in their own learning? No. Recognition that children are capable of thinking and their thinking is different from the adults. Yes, this perfect answer is D. Okay, it is just a kind of motivating child without making him feel bad that whatever the way he's thinking is wrong. We can motivate them by saying that you are just thinking differently from the actual aspect. Okay. Yes. Next question is, the term curriculum in the field of the education refers to overall program of the school which students experience on a day-to-day basis. It is correct answer. 14th question is, a young child responds to a new situation on the basis of the response made by him or her in a similar situation in the past. Okay, this is related to. Okay, so these are actually the laws of learning. Okay, laws of learning which were actually given by Thorndike. Okay, so he proposed few laws regarding how learning actually happens. Okay, he said that it actually happens in two different formats, primary and secondary. Okay, in the primary, few laws are covered. They are law of readiness, law of exercise, and law of effect. Okay, so in the secondary there are few more laws. Okay, these include law of analogy, law of attitude. Okay, let me write over here. Law of multiple thinking, and then law of prepotency, law of association. Okay, so these are the laws which were given by Thorndike to explain the laws of learning. Okay, we would discuss these. This is a very big concept and also an important concept. We would discuss it in the coming further videos. But like how much is important, I would regarding this question I would explain that concept. Okay, so what is it about? A young child responds to a new situation on the basis of the response made by him or her in a similar situation as in the past. Okay, so depending upon the past, okay, a child would take past as an example and she or he is putting the same kind of experience or knowledge in solving the present situation. Okay, present similar situation. So what is this exactly known as? It is known as law of analogy, which comes under the secondary law. Okay, yes. Law of readiness is nothing but when you are trying to read something or learn something, you need to be ready. Okay, you need to fix in your mind that you wanted to read that. So this is law of readiness. Law of exercise is when you are learning something, you need to practice it so that it becomes a concept would become clear and you could you could remember the concept for a long time. And law of effect is something, if you have experienced a good thing, you would like to perform the same activity again and again. Like if your experience is good, if your experience is not so good, you don't want to do it. Okay, so that is nothing but law of effect. And in the secondary laws, law of analogy, it is nothing but if the similar situation arises where you have already faced it, so you would like to put the past experience into present to solve the problems which you are facing in the similar situation, which is nothing but law of analogy. Okay, so law of attitude is nothing but see, your attitude plays the major role when you wanted to learn something. If you are positive towards a particular thing, you would learn more and you would learn with much interest, and thereby you can learn many things. Okay, this is what law of attitude says. Law of multiple thinking. Law of multiple thinking is like this. If you wanted to solve a puzzle, you need to go through and you need to check a number of solutions regarding it. You will be having a number of options and you need to check a number of options, and then you can proceed for a single solution, which is about the law of multiple thinking. Law of prepotency. Law of prepotency is nothing but, see, when you consider a particular topic, there would be two things, the most important topic and the least important topic. So giving much importance to the most important topic, it is considered as law of prepotency. And then law of association. Law of association means it is not only law of association, it is law of association shifting. Okay, so you are trying to shift the importance upon another aspect, taking into account one aspect. Okay, I will be explaining you this concept in a very clear and an understandable manner in the coming videos. I hope this description is enough to solve these questions. Okay, so this is all about today's class, and I hope I'm clear about the different concepts regarding the questions related to this child development and pedagogy. And yes, this is all about today, and thank you so much for listening to the class today. Please do like, share, subscribe and comment to passionate learners. Thank you so much.